labarinta yace wata ranar tana gida tare da manzon Allah da dare yayi shi manzon Allah ya tashi akwai wani kuraba da suke ajiwa manzon Allah ya je wurin da yayi sari ya aji da manzon Allah ya sari ya aji wannan bigiran sai yana jira ya koma ya kwanta cikin dare manzon Allah ya sari ya bar shi ya koma ya kwanta mu ai mata ce wani tashi cikin dare kishi ruwa na ce na ne ruwa na ne ruwa da ta bulla lungun shi ta ga shi nan ruwa a ci shi ke rashin ta tashi da mata da fito kurba ta ji daɗi ba ta yi kwana maza Allah ya yi kwana ya mata yi kwana da suka tashi asuba sai maza Allah ya kira ya ce umu salama akwai wani abu a ji wurin da na yi kusari ciki da kike je ba da ta je ta tuwa ta ce maza Allah wani me kenan maza Allah ce kusari ne na zuwa ta ce maza Allah ni na sha ai mun mu aimata ce maza Allah ya yi dariya har haƙorin maza Allah duka suka bayyana shi maza Allah ya ce mu aimata zuwa nan sai ta zo sai ya ce mata na rantse da Allah kin ga cikin dinga bai taɓa jin yunwa bai taɓa kishin ruwa har tashi kiyama har lokacin da zai ko in mazu Allah fa amma na rantse da Allah in ka sha bolin wani nan duniya ya baka mamaki Ummu Aiman ke bamu labarin ta yace wata ranar tana gida tare da manzon Allah da dare yayi shi manzon Allah ya tashi akwai wani kuraba da suke ajiwa manzon Allah ya je wurin da yayi sari ya aji da manzon Allah ya yi sari ya aji wannan bigiran sai yana jira ya koma ya kwanta cikin dare manzon Allah ya yi sari ya bar shi ya koma ya kwanta mu ai mata ce wani tashi cikin dare kishi ruwa na ce na ne ruwa da ta bulla lungun shi ta ga shi nan ruwa a ci shi ke rashin ta tashi da mata da fito kurba ta ji daɗi ba ta yi kwana maza Allah ya yi kwana ya mata yi kwana da suka tashi asuba sai maza Allah ya kira ya ce umu salama akwai wani abu a ji wurin da na yi kusari ciki da kike je ba da ta je ta tuwa ta ce maza Allah wani me kenan maza Allah ce kusari ne na zuwa ta ce maza Allah ni na sha ai mun mu aimata ce maza Allah ya yi dariya har haƙorin maza Allah duka suka bayyana shi wanzu Allah ya ce umu ai ba su wadanda sai ta zo sai ya ce mata na rantse da Allah kin ga cikin dinga bai taɓa jin yunwa bai taɓa kishin ruwa har tashi kiyama har lokacin da zai ko in mazu Allah fa amma na rantse da Allah in ka sha bolin wani nan duniya ya baka mamaki Ummu Aiman ke bamu labarin ta yace wata ranar tana gida tare da manzon Allah da dare yayi shi manzon Allah ya tashi akwai wani kuraba da suke ajiwa manzon Allah ya je wurin da yayi sari ya aji da manzon Allah ya sari ya aji wannan bigiran sai yana jira ya koma ya kwanta cikin dare manzon Allah ya sari ya bar shi ya koma ya kwanta mu aimata ce wani tashi cikin dare kishi ruwa na ce na ne ruwa da ta bulla lungun shi ta ga shi nan ruwa a ci shi ke rashin ta tashi da mata da fito kurba ta ji daɗi ba ta yi kwana maza Allah ya yi kwana ya mata yi kwana da suka tashi asuba sai maza Allah ya kira ya ce umu salama akwai wani abu a ji wurin da na yi kusari ciki da kike je ba da ta je ta tuwa ta ce maza Allah wani me kenan maza Allah ce kusari ne na zuwa ta ce maza Allah ni na sha ai mun mu aimata ce maza Allah ya yi dariya har haƙorin maza Allah duka suka bayyana shi wanzu Allah ya ce umu aibar zuwa nan sai ta zo sai ya ce mata na rantse da Allah kin ga cikin dinga bai taɓa jin yunwa bai taɓa kishin ruwa har tashi kiyama har lokacin da zai ko in mazu Allah fa amma na rantse da Allah in ka sha bolin wani nan duniya ya baka mamaki
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Peace be upon you all. Let me see. Um, yeah, Muktabu said, I think the audio I just played was in a different language, was in a Hausa language. So that is why the audio wasn't clear enough. But I'm going to explain what the person said as time goes on. Yeah, I'll be explaining. It is one cleric or maybe a scholar, you can call him. I will not see him as a scholar in Ghana, right? And he's a Sunni cleric, who normally preach or like give a public lecture, or I would say lecture, a public preaching that he does. And he has one video, this audio that he did, which is absolutely ludicrous. So it's just weird. So, okay, before we start, I seek refuge with Allah against the accursed devil. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنَ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And who is better in speech than one who invites to Allah and acts righteous and says, indeed, I am of the Muslims. هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين. This is my way, I invite to Allah by perception, I and whoever follows me, and glory be to Allah, for I am not among the mushriks, that is, idolaters. الحق من ربكم فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكفر. The truth is from your Lord, so whoever wills, let him believe, and whoever wills, let him disbelieve. Yeah, so nobody is forced. So, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. O you who believe, beware of God and be with those who are what? Honest. Right? Those who are honest. Now, today's topic, we are here to examine the sectarian scholars, right? So I'll be picking up some few scholars whereby we will be cross-examining some of the things they publicly speak about or say, right? Just to show you some of the lies these people have been telling you for years, and without you paying attention, actually. So let's go this way. Let's see. Yeah, peace be upon you all. I see you, Kazali, Diallo, Slamzat, Fatima Chin, Abdul Samad, Anas Mufti, Muktabul Hussein, Anwar Powell, Saeed Adam, I see you, Arif Karim, Baba Seidunaganka, peace be upon you, Muti Hussein, Yamawiya Abdul Salam, I see you, peace be upon you. Sal Shaifa, Badiu Zamani, I see you. The boss Amadu Salam, Liman Imrana, Mohammed Isaka, Alhaji Hatal Mahmoud. Yes, I see you all. Thank you all for those who are available and those who are not available. Salam to Salis Jimmy. I know he is around somewhere watching. Okay, peace be upon you all. Thank you all for coming, and sorry for the delay, inconvenience. There was one or two inconvenience on my way. That's why I had to start a bit late. But thank you all. Salam, lovely cat. Thank you all for coming. And by the way, this is the Salam, Hamdu Isako. Yeah, this is the Refer to the Quran hardcover book, which comes in a slim form, hardcover, and which only contains 60 pages. And this is how it is. And this book has been designed in such a way that it is only a comprehensive tool or comprehensible tool to help you approach the Quran easily. Like, This book is not taking you away from the Quran. It's rather bringing you to the Quran. So that's why it's called Refer to the Quran. You see, Refer to the Quran. So the purpose of this book is to actually help you to understand the Quran by simplifying some of the things that usually you see me lecturing people about. So it has about 15 subjects that it discusses the topics of the Quran, and it has verses pertaining which are found in the Quran and the topics, and then some highlights I gave concerning the topics of discussion. Right, the PDF is available, which is online, is €2.95. But people who are personally closer to me and they ask for it, yes, I do give them to read it. And then if you read the hardcover, there is the page on top of this discussion I'm having. The page is there. If you need a hardcover, it will be sent to you, and I think it's only €19.95, right? So that is the hardcover for Refer to the Quran, a book which gives you the aid, which actually helps you to approach the Quran easily in order to understand what the Quran says. So this is the book here. Yeah, inshallah, Tujis. Salam, Nur. Yeah. So this book does a lot of the dirty work I'm doing. It does a lot of the dirty work you see me doing in my videos. Because the purpose of my lectures is to actually aid people, to help people to approach the Quran and be more closer to the Quran, right? So the book, what it does is, if you have the book and you are an intellectual person when it comes to reading to understand a discourse or a written concept, it makes it easier for you to actually use your IQ in order to approach the Quran, rather than always just trying to listen to somebody giving you talks. So that is the purpose of the book. Refer to the Quran. You find it on payhip.com/Natsal Enterprise, or you find it on top of my page right now that I'm discussing, right? So it's available. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mohammed Isaka, yes. Yeah, I sent you the PDF. Yes, you're welcome. So, as you all know, I played an audio prior to the beginning of this lecture. I played an audio which was by one scholar from Ghana. His name is Anas Tawfeeq, right? Anas. Some people say Anas, and some people say Anas Tawfeeq. And he said some things, right, in the audio. But those things he said in Hausa language, I'm going to break it down. He quoted a particular hadith, and that popular hadith is actually a da'if. Most of even the Sunni scholars term it as da'if. But this guy took that hadith and he's narrating to the people. And it was an audio discussion, right? If this guy still upholds such a belief, then there's something wrong with his conscience. Yes. And for people who haven't heard the audio, it's in Hausa language, but I'm going to tell you what he said. He says one day at night time, the prophet was supposed to go and urinate. So he went and took the chamber pot, right? Chamber pot. You all know chamber pot, like in Ghana, we will say kuraba. So he took this kuraba, this chamber pot, and he urinated inside, and then put it somewhere in the house. So one of his wives, according to the narrator, he says one of his wives, he says Aima, she wake up at night because she was thirsty. She needed water to drink. So she searched for water. Now imagine, she's the woman of the house. A woman of the house who unfortunately doesn't know where the water can be located. So now she doesn't know the difference between where they put the chamber pot and where they put drinking water. So she searched for water. And I'm imagining the chamber pot Is it put in the same place water should be put? Where is the chamber pot at? You went and ease yourself to urinate. You leave the chamber pot where human beings will go and drink water. This is what the hadith is telling us. So I'm want you to use logic. I'll be playing some videos of some scholars. You hear the errant garbage and nonsense they've been telling you for years. You don't reason. Now, he said the prophet's wives searched for water, she didn't find water. So she found a chamber pot at that night. And who in his right senses will go and stand in the dark and take something assuming to be water and you want to drink without checking what it is, without smelling what it is? So according to the hadith, you see how these enemies of the prophet are insulting the prophet and his family. But you people don't pay attention. You think this is hadith is taking you closer to God, right? Good. Salam, brother. Now, she went and took this chamber pot and she drank it, the urine. So in the morning, the prophet told her, al-Aima, I left my urine in the chamber pot at the backside. Can you take it and go and throw it away? So according to the hadith, the fake prophet, which they are explaining in their hadith, couldn't know the difference between going outside to urinate and then staying indoors for chamber pot. Imagine the ancient times, the houses they live in, right? So he had to pee in the chamber pot and leave it. So the hadith is telling a whole prophet is scared of going out. And according to your hadith, the way you depict the prophet to tell us he has bodyguards and whatever, guarding around his house and whatever. So this chamber pot he peed inside, his wife, according to the hadith, went and took it and drank it. So in the morning, he told her to go and throw it away. Then she said, oh, prophet, so that thing you left there is a pee? Then he says, yes. And she said, I've drunk it. I drank it all because I was thirsty during the night. And according to the narrator, this Anas, he said the prophet laughed and laughed and laughed till all his teeth became white, just like you're seeing mine on the video now. His teeth became white. So I was wondering, me listening to this kind of lies. I love listening to this kind of stories, right? Because I know they are lies. So I just laugh, like for entertainment's sake. Now, he said the prophet laughed till his teeth became white. So I was imagining which journalist at that time, at that hour, was monitoring all these issues and writing them down during the night between the prophet and his wife and whatever transpired. This journalist was there and he was looking at the prophet's teeth being white. So he was laughing at that time. The teeth was white and he's writing it down. So now, he said the prophet laughed at her and he told her, Haima, come here, let me tell you something. He says, for drinking my urine, from today, you will never ever go hungry or thirsty in your life, ever, till you die. But yet, he, the prophet, can go hungry. And he need food to eat, right? And somebody drank his urine, you are saying she will never go hungry till she dies. So this guy went further and said, but if you don't know, and you drink any other human being's urine, you will see what will happen to him. So the people listening to him, I don't know how dumb and stupid and naive they are listening to such a person, and then they say, Allahu Akbar. You see, this is how the hadith told them, right? Because the God of the Quran has nothing to do with Allahu Akbar. So bear that in mind. Now, that is the God of the hadith. They are fake. God, they created everything in the hadith, right? And the fake prophets in the hadith as well. So now, let's use logic here. Let's use critical thinking in order to use our reasoning, right? He narrated such an hadith, and now he is telling you the prophet's wife drank this urine of the prophet. As I said, I played the audio in Hausa language, right? So if you're paying attention, what he said is what I'm telling you. And these are some of the things they've been telling people all this while. And you people think just because these scholars dress and nicely and they appear decently and you think they are wise, right? They are the dumbest fools ever. But you don't pay attention. So you don't notice that. Stand-up comedians are better than these so-called scholars you call scholars. Now, this same Anas, as Salam Muhammad Senior, this same Anas, he has a quote that he quoted, which is very popular quotation he put on one of his platforms or his page. And I quote, he, Anas, said, "How beneficial is your wisdom when you don't purify Islam from the dirt spilled on it?" He, the cleric I'm talking about, Anas, based in Ghana, he said, "How beneficial is your wisdom when you don't purify Islam from the dirt spilled on it?" So let's use him as a scapegoat now. Let's start the example based on him. He made a quote and say, "How beneficial is your wisdom when you don't purify Islam from the dirt spilled on him?" Yet we send this quotation back to him, back to the sender. He made a clear-cut quotation on one of his pages, and he forgot it himself. What did he do? His wisdom was missing, and he was rather spilling dirt on Islam by quoting such garbage hadiths to the people. And because they are so dumb and foolish, they are listening to him and say, "Allahu Akbar." You condone this errant nonsense and garbages and associate it to your prophet. No wonder you don't follow the prophet of the Quran. And that scholar, that person I'm talking about, is a Sunni. So if you play the video back, you hear it for yourself. And I've put the audio aside for a particular day. I'll catch all these people one by one. The time will tell. Don't rush it, inshallah. So today we are going to examine the scholars of the sectarian side, right? Sayyid Adam says, this reminds you of what? Then popular Nigeria movie title, Super Story. Well, it's obvious. It's a super story. Tuji said what? He says energy drink. More than energy drink. I think this one, the people who go to the gym will need it actually. Mohammed Isaka says hadith number, please. I'll write it down. I'll paste it for you, right? Yes. Sal Shaifa says she drank it. Urine has different taste than water. Yes, according to the hadith, she drank it. She doesn't know the difference between urine and water. She doesn't. That's how foolish they've termed the prophet's wife to be. And that's the hadith. These same people, Mushriks, are telling you can't follow the Quran without these garbage books. So I wonder which verse of the Quran is this garbage hadith this cleric just said is explaining. I don't understand. That hadith he just mentioned, which verse of the Quran does this garbage explain? Kabil Laim will tell you. That's what we have. Exactly. When you ask them question, they will say that. Sharif Karim says it could have been holy urine. Then he should rather come from an angel, not from a human being. It's not easy. Why is it very wallahi? Say that. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Somebody says, Anas Mufti says holy water. It's obvious. It's holy water. But she could have waited for the rain to drop because the rain is more holier. Maybe she wanted to find Said Abdul Samad says, I wonder she have to know the taste of water and urine. Yeah, she will have to find out herself, according to the hadith. So this is the enemy. These are the enemies of the prophet, right? The sectarians. I'm telling you for a fact, right? You want to follow Islam, that is the deen of God. Submit to God. Leave out any scholar, any garbage books, any garbage things that will take you away from the Quran. Leave them out, right? Okay. So now let's examine the scholars, right? Let's examine the scholars. When you go to Quran chapter 9, verse 34, God said something interesting there in that chapter. Quran chapter 9, that is Surah At-Tawbah, and verse 34. He mentioned something interesting for us concerning scholars and monks, that we have to pay close attention to when it comes to religion, especially. So I'll be playing a video concerning one scholar from Saudi Arabia, even though he claims he's not a scholar. But I'll play his video and I'll tell you one thing that people are not paying attention to, right? People are not paying attention. I'll tell you so that you start using your IQ, your logic frequently, because God wants you to use your logic, right? So that's why we call it critical thinking. You need that ability when it comes to religion. You don't have to just sit back and let somebody lie to you using his opinions and whims and desires, because that is dangerous for your salvation. So Quran chapter 9 verse 34, O you who have believed, indeed many of the scholars and the monks are consuming the wealth of the people with falsehood and repelling from the way of God. These are what the scholars are doing. Quran chapter 9 verse 34, O you who believe, indeed many of the scholars, that is al-ahbar, and the monks, ruhbani, are consuming the wealth, that is the monies of the people, with falsehood and repelling from the way of God. Like the one you just heard, right? The audio I just played. These are the type of scholars who are consuming the people's wealth because people keep giving them money, right? To build them, to keep them going with the falsehood. And then they repel you from the way of God because that is not the teachings of God. That is not the way of God. So they turn you to another direction. You understand? It's just like asking for a navigator to go to the right way, and then somebody is now pointing the other way for you and then taxing you for it as well. Right? So you have to be cautious of these things very, very well. Be cautious of it. So yeah, salam, tikas. So I'm going to play one short video, and please pay attention closely. Closely. Pay attention, please. Good. Now, first of all,
I drink beer,
this guy said,
and I'm proud of that. But the beer I drink, before you quote me for that, is from Saudi Arabia, and it has like 2%, maybe 3% alcohol, and it's legal and it's halal. One says, oh, it has alcohol. Akhi, if I drink half a pack, nothing happens. I drink beer, and I'm proud of that.
Now, this is Assim al-Hakiim, based in Saudi Arabia. And this guy is also a Salaf, right? They are the extremists when it comes to displaying certain parts of their religion. That is the sectarian religion, the Sunni type. And they are very extreme. And you go to the extreme level of passing on judgment, or the jurisprudence, and trying to pass on judgment against people. Now, he said in this video some years back, he said he drinks beer and he's proud of it, right? And he even went ahead to say the alcohol he drinks is manufactured in Saudi Arabia and it has 2%, 3% alcohol in it. And he says if he drink like how many packs, nothing will happen. And this guy, I don't know if you know mathematics, he says 2%. And this 2% you are talking about, and he says if he drinks half a pack, nothing will happen. It's a lie. Something will happen. And he's trying to tell you by insulting you and telling you that the beer he drinks is from Saudi Arabia. So telling you yours, when you drink it from Ghana or some other parts of the world, yours is problematic. So it means the beer in Saudi Arabia is coming from paradise. I'll be playing a counter video from him again, just to help you to listen to scholars. I'm very good at that. I listen to scholars a lot, and I know how to find lies and contradictions in their statements. I don't care if they have eloquence in Arabic or how they recite something. That's not what I'm looking for. For instance, the first guy I played his audio, Anas Tawfeeq. He has only eloquence when it comes to reciting the Quran and reading the Quran, which I like when he recited and he read the Quran, or or he intonates the Quran. I won't say he read, he intonates it in a monotonous way. I love it. But that doesn't stop me from seeing his contradictions and lies when he's speaking to the people. So that is what I'm interested in. I try to strike that part. So Assim al-Hakiim also likewise, right? What I'm going to deal with right now is to teach you people how to discern and listen to scholars and find the problems in their statements, right? Now listen to what he said. For people who don't know, they might think I'm taking the video out of context. He actually drank beer. He said it. It's not as if I'm taking the video out of context. A foolish person will say, oh, where's the full video? Play it. Let's see. No. I will let him confess himself. He will tell you whether he drank it or not. You will hear what he has to say. So listen to the second video, what he has to say.
However, this is not our question. Did you, Sheikh Asim, say 2% to 3% in a drink is permissible because it does not waste? Yes, I did. Do you still stand by this? No, I don't. What do you mean? Akhi, when I talk about Islamic issues, I don't talk from my own self. I'm not a scholar. I don't come up and think, yeah, I think this is halal, this is haram.
Guys, let's listen to what he said again.
However, this is not our question. Did you, Sheikh Asim, say 2% to 3% in a drink is permissible because it does not waste? Yes, I did. Do you still stand by this? No, I don't. What do you mean? Akhi, when I talk about Islamic issues, I don't talk from my own self. I'm not a scholar. I don't come up and think, yeah, I think this is halal, this is haram.
So guys, from the horse's own mouth, did you hear what he said? The first video I played, he said he drinks beer and he drinks 2 to 3% of beer, right? And he said the beer is manufactured in Saudi Arabia. Now, people who don't know might think I'm taking his video out of context. He actually said it, right? He said it, that he drinks beer. The second video, he came out to say, somebody asked him, Sheikh Assim, did you say you drink beer before? Then he admitted, he says, yes, I did. Do you still stand by it? And he says, no, I don't. Because he has been castigated by the media and public and whatever have you, the prominent people. So he came out to actually make a video and then resign his statements. So then he says, Akhi, when I speak about Islam, listen what he said. When I speak about Islam, I am not a scholar. That's what he said. He said he's not a scholar, but why is he speaking about Islam? When you are not a scholar at it, when you are not learned at it, why speak about Islam in the first place? Why are you counseling people? He's a counselor. And I will show you one of his video, and I will show you. He counsels people. He gives consolations to people. And then this guy even takes money, $100 per hour or half an hour with him on phone for counseling concerning Islam. But when it comes to the beer issue, he said he's not a scholar. So he doesn't have the position to tell people something is halal or haram. Then why is he on the video teaching people about Islam? Now, guys, I want you to pay attention carefully when you are listening to contradictions and scholars, how they contradict their own statements and what they say to the masses. that a lot of people are dumb and foolish, but you don't pay attention to that. Quran chapter 25, verse 44. God is asking, or do you think that most of them listen or reason? And he says, no, they are just like livestock. This, I'm not saying it. God said it. Quran chapter 25, verse 44. Look it up for yourself. Right? God says, Salam Sheikh Tawfeeq Nakor. He said, most of the people are just like livestock because they don't listen and reason. They only listen without reason. So this is why when scholars are fumbling, making errors, contradicting, people don't pay attention, so they don't know. So when somebody like me is giving you the heads up, because I don't appear like the way your puppets, the puppets and the stand-up comedian scholars are dressed up, then you think I'm an outcast. No problem. Now, you heard what the scholar said. He's claiming he's not a scholar, right? But he's a scholar who give people counseling. I'm going to play another video from him, this same Assim al-Hakiim. Again, then listen to him carefully. Listen to him carefully. How they deprive people from using logic in Islam. Listen to what he has to say. Pay attention.
That Islam is based on compliance with the Quran and the Sunnah. It is based on submission your will to Allah Azza wa Jal, which means that the Prophet ﷺ, when he says, pray as you have seen me pray, and we look at how he prayed, we find that he used to recite every single Fajr, the Quran, in the prayer loudly. And in the first 2 rak'ahs of Maghrib and in the first 2 rak'ahs of Isha, he used to recite loudly. And in the 4 rak'ahs of Dhuhr, the 4 rak'ahs of Asr, the last rak'ah of Maghrib, and the last 2 rak'ahs of Isha, he used to recite silently. Now we look in his teachings, never ever he explained that to us. We look into the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, and never ever we will find any of the companions asking why. Therefore, we understand that this is how religion is, and we have to take it as a package deal.
I think in between something happened to the audio side of the video. I don't know what happened. Actually, it has to be the network or something. But anyways, you have the gist of what I wanted to say about this scholar, what I wanted you to hear. He talked about Islam being compliance to the rules that you have been given. And he said it's a submission to the will of God. But then he said you have to comply to Quran and Sunnah. He didn't quote any reference. He didn't give you any verse. He is just saying. So assuming the ignorant people out there listening to this person, they will uphold what he is saying because number one, he's an Arab. Number two, he appears like a scholar. Number three, he gives counseling to people concerning Islam. So without any reference, he keeps talking. Then somebody has asked him a question concerning why do you have to do your salat aloud and silent? For instance, they do the salat al-fajr and salat al-isha and maghrib, they do it out, open, like loud. Then salat al-zuhur and then asr, they do it silently. So somebody was asking, based on that, when you check Quran chapter 17, verse 110, God is telling the prophet, وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا وَابْتَغِي بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. Right? Do not be loud with your prayer, nor be silent with it, but seek a way in between. Right? Good. So now seek a way in between, meaning don't be loud and don't be silent. But what you find the mushriks doing is, their salat al-fajr is loud. They even do it on a mic while people are sleeping, fooling themselves against what God is commanding them. God says, do not be loud with your salat and be silent with it. Do not do that. Be in between. So how come you are praying to your maker and you are doing it on your mic, shouting to tell who what you are telling God what? You understand? So now, this guy gave an excuse by saying, in one of the narrations of the hadith, the prophet says, Salli kama ra'aytumuni usalli. He says the hadith says you should pray. The prophet says you should pray as you have seen him pray. First of all, you have never seen the prophet pray. Hadith people, no hadith person, follower on earth has ever seen the prophet praying. So in the first place, you are not using your logic when you say the prophet said you should pray as you have seen him pray. Have you seen him praying before? Okay. So if you claim he prayed the way you are praying by shouting and then silent, are you saying he's going against the command God gave him in chapter 17 verse 110? وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا وَابْتَغِي بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. So now he has to go against God just because of your garbage hadith. So now you uphold the garbage hadith telling you that the prophet prayed loud, and you also did it. Then Assim al-Hakiim said that followers of the prophet didn't question the prophet why he did it silently and why he did it loud. They just went with the flow. And he said the prophet never explained it to them why he did that. So they also didn't ask him. Then he said, this is what religion is about. So you have to accept the package like that. Hello? Chapter 17 verse 36 is telling you, وَلَا تَخَفُوا مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ إِلْمٍ. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge about. Don't pursue it. And now you are telling me out of your Mushrik sects that this is the package we receive in religion. So you don't have to question anything. You just have to go with the flow when you are told. So even if your scholar says, come and put your hand in the fire, just go and do it because the religion tells you so. Don't wonder most of the people in religions are dumb and fools. Most people are dumb because what the scholar says is final. That is why Quran chapter 33 verse 67, a lot of people on the day of judgment will say, Qalu Rabbana inna ata'ana sadatana wa kubara'ana fa'adalluna sabila. Our Lord, we have obeyed our leaders and our elders, but they misled us from the way. Because you keep obeying like a sheep. You don't question. You don't reason. You don't ask critical questions. You have your scholars and imams in your zongo and your communities. You never question them. Do you see? So when it comes to foolish people, you don't find it in the outside world. You find it in religions. This is where you get foolish people. Because they've been programmed not to question. It's all about follow. Samina, Atana, that's it. Don't question, don't reflect. Don't use your reasoning. The believers who have been told to say Samina or Atana is from what they have comprehended. After you have understood something, that is when you say Samina or Atana. You have heard or obeyed. This is how it works. This is why when we talk to our kids, we ask them, have you heard me? Did you hear what I said? Then he will say, yes, dad, or yes, mom, because he has understood by using his reasoning. And as a parent, then sometimes you ask a kid, what did I say? Just to cross-check and make sure their brain is intact. So, this is the gibberish the guy just said. And he said you have to accept the package like that because that is what religion entails. No need for questioning. Just do as you are told by the scholars, right? Now listen to another video from him, what he has to say.
Mehwish from the US says, what is our stance towards Yazid ibn Muawiyah? Yazid is from the Tabi'een. He's not a companion. And it would be unfair to go and indulge in stories and narrations that we were not witness to. And it is totally unacceptable to take sides by saying, no, we are with Yazid and not with Hussein. Al-Hussein, may Allah be pleased with him, definitely, Ibn Ali is one of the masters of the youth of paradise. He's the grandson of the Prophet ﷺ. He is the son of Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ. His virtues and attributes are well known to all.
Now, this video I just played is to aid you in order to pay attention to what scholars keep saying. This is still Assim al-Hakiim, the Saudi Arabian counselor or priest or cleric or scholar. Somebody asked him about Yazid, right? And then he said, he mentioned something. He said, we cannot discuss or talk about something we have not witnessed, that we are not a witness to. So we don't need to even take sides and make a discussion on that. You ask him, has he witnessed the garbage hadiths they've been giving you? Has he, this scholar, has he witnessed such books for him to be giving you his point of view and opinions? Did he witness? Was he there when they were doing the transmission? He sees. Was he there? Did he witness? But he based his faith blindly on such garbage books. And now when he's being asked about the Hussein issue and the Yazid issue and this issue, this is his 2 cents he is giving. If you haven't heard him, let me play the video again. Pay attention.
Mehwish from the US says, what is our stance towards Yazid ibn Muawiyah? Yazid is from the Tabi'een. He's not a companion. And it would be unfair to go and indulge in stories and narrations that we were not witness to. And it is...
Did you hear what I said again? I just played the video again concerning the Yazid ibn Muawiyah. He said he's a tabi'in, meaning a follower of the companions, right? And he said it will be unfair to go and indulge in issues they are not witness to. Concerning the issues they are not a witness to. But you have narrations, like the narrations, you still uphold them and you take sides. That is why Shia became Shia and they are proud of Ali, based on the narrations their scholars give them. They don't question. So Islam has been shredded into pieces to now be based on what scholars think. Their opinion is final. Somebody who claims he's not a scholar, but he's sitting on a podium giving his counseling to the people, and callers are calling in. And when you call him for half an hour to just seek an advice, you have to pay $100. Yeah, you have to pay $100. This guy, I just played the video. You saw it on the screen. I put it with the blue screen. For counseling, you call him concerning Islam, is $100. Good. And this is why I quoted chapter 9, verse 34. These are the scholars and the monks who are taking the people's money with falsehood, and they will repel you from the way of God because you don't use your reasoning, logic. You see the problem? Again, now we are done with Assim al-Hakim, right? We are done with him. But what I want you to pay attention now, I'm going to play these 2 scholars. I would have wanted to do the topic on Assim al-Hakim alone, right? So that we move on. But let me try to divert the issue a bit. I take you to Quran chapter 3, verse 78. Let me see if I can share the screen. Quran chapter 3, verse 78, Surah Al Imran. Then I share the screen and let's see what the verse says, right? Quran chapter 3, verse 78. Let's see what the verse says. Yeah. Quran chapter 3, verse 78. So God says, وَإِنَّ مِنْهُمْ لَفَرِيقًا يَلُؤُونَ أَلْسِنَتَهُمْ بِالْكِتَابِ لِتَحْسَبُوهُ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَمَا هُوَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَيَقُولُونَ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ وَمَا هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. So God says, and indeed among them is a group. When we say fariqan, when we say faraka, is to separate something, to divide. That is the verb. So fariqan becomes a group, a noun. So it's a group or sect. Yaluuna alisinatahum bil kitab. They would twist the book with their tongues. They use their tongues to twist with the book, right? Litasabuhu min al-kitab. In order for you to consider it is from the book. What they are twisting, what they are saying, you might think is from the book. وَمَا هُوَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, while it is not from the book. وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ وَيَقُولُونَ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. And then that they will now go ahead and say it is coming from God, while it is not coming from God. وَمَا هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. And they say a lie about God while they know. Now, do you see the problem here? The so-called scholars you're seeing out there, the Mufti Mengs, the Yasir Kadi, the Numan Ali, the Zakir Naik, keep mentioning them. The list, they go on and on. The Asim Hakiim, keep mentioning them. Bilal Phillips, they are all lying to you most of the times. Because it's a program, it's a propaganda, it's a programming. Right? But you are not paying attention. They will twist their tongues with the book. They'll twist the book with their tongues to make you consider or think it is from the book while it is not from the book. Because you don't check, you don't examine what they are saying. This is why when I say things from the Quran, I give you references to go and cross-examine. I'm not saying you should believe me 100%. Come on. Quran chapter 18 verse 29 tells you the truth is from your Lord. Whoever wills, let him believe, and whoever wills, let him disbelieve. Can I force you to believe what I'm saying? No. So if God himself cannot force you to believe what he is telling you, how much less babashuaib should force you? No. You understand? You have to use your reasoning. You question things, use your logic. If something doesn't make sense to you, put it aside. You keep investigating till it makes sense. If it makes sense, fine, you follow it. If it doesn't, why just get up and follow something you don't understand just because a scholar says it and you think because of his position? What? So be careful. Again, I will take you to Quran chapter 39 verse 18, right? Quran chapter 39 verse 18. That is Suratul Zumar, chapter 39 verse 18. And this is another part I want you to pay attention very, very well. Is to help you in order when you are listening, pay attention to a discourse or when somebody is giving you a talk or a lecture. Pay attention. This is why people who are very good listeners in the classroom, they end up becoming, the top of the class, right? So pay attention to that. I'm going to share the screen, then we see Quran chapter 39 verse 18, what is being said there. Yeah, Vora, you're welcome. Peace be upon you. Okay, so let's share the screen. Quran chapter 39 verse 18. God says, Allazina yastami'una al-qawla fayattabi'una ahsanahu. Ulaika allazina hadahumullah wa ulaika hum ulul albab. So God says, those who listen to the word, when we say the word, it has a definite article, which is the Quran, the word of the Quran, al-qawl, right? Those who listen to the word and follow the best of it, or its best. So you see, al-qawla, the word qawla here is a noun, it's a masculine noun. Whilst the ahsanahu, the damir, which is the pronoun at the end of the word ahsana, it is a masculine pronoun denoting the al-qawla, which is a noun. So then God says, those are the ones whom God has guided. The group, those who are listening to the word and follow the best of it. When you listen to the scholars, don't follow every gibberish they tell you. Follow the best of it. You are listening to babashuaib, don't take everything babashuaib is telling you. Just follow the best of it. Now, those are the ones whom God has guided, and they are those who possess intelligence. So intelligence plays a major role when it comes to religion, and especially Islam. You don't just become a blind follower and just listen to scholars say they are gibberish, their whims and desires just because they are dressed like Mufti Menk and you think they are handsome, so they are telling you the truth. It doesn't work that way. You understand? And I knowing for all these years, I know people are more interested in the way I have to dress. I have to dress like Mufti Menk and appear like a Saudi student before people can actually patronize me. I'm not here for that. Do I care? No. You understand? This is why I try to appear as normal as possible I can be. I don't try to impress somebody just to dress and look unique like a Saudi prince. No, Islam is far from that. Islam didn't start with Prophet Muhammad. So if it didn't start with Prophet Muhammad, do you think, how do you call Abraham, Moses, and so on were all dressing like the Arabs? The answer is no. So pay close attention to that, right? So Quran chapter 39 verse 18 clearly tells us that people who listen to the word and follow the of it. Try to be such a person. So that when scholars are telling you something, don't just follow, take it and follow. Salam, Sister Benisha. Sorry. Sal Sharifa says, I think Islam's so-called scholars have started to do business with it. Yes, they do, like the African pastors that. Yeah, they do. They do that. Yeah. Yeah, Munir Udin, salam, peace be upon you. You're welcome. Okay. So now, that was chapter 39, verse 18, right? Now, what you need to understand is, if I take you to Quran chapter 10, verse 100, let me show you a verse here. Quran chapter 10, verse 100. And let's see what God says in that verse. And this is something you have to take very seriously. It is not a joke, the verse I'm going to quote right now, right? Quran chapter 10, verse 100. Yeah. Dressing does not make you superior, right? It's about the intelligence and wisdom and knowledge that you have that actually makes you stand out from the crowd. It's not only about appearance. People always give credence to appearance, and they think, oh, since this person is dressed as an executive, it means he works for in a government or in the parliament. No. So people should use their intelligence wisely. So Quran chapter 10, verse 100. God says, وَمَا كَانَ لِنَفْسٍ أَن تُؤْمِنَ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. It is not for a soul to believe except by the permission of God, right? So God has to give you permission in order to believe. Then God says, وَيَجْعَلُ الرِّجْسَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ لَا يَأْكِلُونَ. So God places filth, He places a rijsa upon those who do not reason. Now, this filthiness is more something more we can say metaphorically, that's something God will put in your brain as a debt. When the brain has debt inside, you can't focus. Everything is clustered. You can't focus. You can't reason straight. You understand? So the brain is kaput. So God will place filthiness, that is filth, upon those who do not reason. So the moment you have the brain and the heart and you cannot use it to reason straightly, profoundly, it means you have filthy brain, dirty brain, because you can focus, you can reason straight. You don't see the difference between a lie and people can easily people can easily spot the difference between a China phone and a normal phone, but they cannot spot the difference between the lies they've been told and the truth. That is a problem. You have to be able to use your reasoning, critical thinking ability, your logic, to the extent that you can differentiate the lies you have been told since childhood and the truth you are studying for yourself. There's a difference here. When you are being told something without verifying, doesn't automatically make it the truth. It needs to be cross-checked. This is why when in the Western world, identification is taken more seriously. But in Africa, no, it's not more serious unless when you're traveling. Identification, you go somewhere, they ask you, what is your name? You say, my name is babashuaib. They don't believe you till you take your ID out. Put it on the table, they have to cross-examine and check if it is actually you. And that is why some identifications have fingerprints, they have thumbprints, and with that, we still have people who even lie with their identity. So these are some of the things you should pay attention and take it seriously. It is not only about just sitting down and listening to what scholars have to say. Just because it's coming from Saudi Arabia, you think, mashallah, he knows Arabic. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ إِنَّ أَصْدَقَ الْحَدِيثِ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ وَخَيْرَ هَدِي مُحَمَّدٍ. No, come on. No. Now, yeah, Davis Mark, salam. Adeyemo Akani, you're welcome, salam. Holy Bolis, you're welcome. Salam. Exactly. This is one of the things I want people to pay attention. Corruption at its best by the Al-Azhar Institute. Yes, they've corrupted a lot of things that are being taught in Islam, right? And they make you think, oh, you have to come to us to give you certification. That shows that you are an Islamic scholar. What an arrant nonsense. Did the Prophet build any institution? Let them come out and answer us. Did the Prophet build any university, Islamic university? The answer is no. Did he build any institution for the caliphs, so-called caliphs? You claim he left 4 caliphs behind him. Did he build any institution for them? The answer is no. Did he give them any certification and say, hey, you are the graduate in Tajweed. You take this certificate. You are the graduate in knowing Sarf. You are the graduate in knowing Nahu. So you take this certificate and then go and teach people this part of. It's like your mom tells you, go to the kitchen, take the cup of glass and fetch me water. And you said, no, I need a scholar to interpret and tell me grammatically what means go and what means on the table and take cup and put water before I come and do what my mom tells me to do. Hello? Of course, they are the graduates of garbages, right? I'm not saying education is not important. Find education, right? But don't go to the level they are telling you you can't go here in your religion, do this in your religion, unless a particular scholar gives you, validation or, authority to do that. No, who gave them that authority to appoint people Islamic scholars, right? Mufti Menk is not a scholar. He has only been made a public speaker where he goes as a motivational speaker and they'll give him few verses and you think he knows Arabic and he tells you this gibberish and garbages and you think these people are learned. I'm going to play one of Mufti Menk's video. You see common atiu, ata'a. He doesn't know the meaning. Yes, you claim he knows Arabic, right? I'm going to play one of his video. You see the meaning, the word, how he twists meaning of words. And you guys think these people are learning just because they dress nicely and appear in front of you on the video. Mashallah, they have millions or thousands of followers. Your scholars are celebrities, for God's sake. And foolish mushriks will just be commenting and say, oh, look at this guy, babashuaib, he needs attention. He wants to be popular. Who wants to be more popular than your scholars? Why are they on social media? What are they doing on YouTube? Why are they on Instagram? Why are they on TikTok and so on? What are your scholars doing? Hello? We are swimming in the same water. So why blame another fish? Don't mind them, Muniruddin. They can say what they want, And so now let me play Mufti Menk's video. Yes, Fatima Chin, I'm going to play that particular video, right? Concerning Mufti Menk. So listen to that video. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Mufti Menk for 3 minutes. Attention has been drawn concerning people who say we should follow the Quran alone, and then you have to follow the Quran and Sunnah, and then and he translates that as following the Hadith. Where did the Prophet explain such garbage to you, Mufti Menk? Did the Prophet ever sit down with you and tell you that Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul, or Rasul that it means he gave you hadith you have to take, and if he refrains you from hadith you have to leave it? So where did he give you the hadith? I want to see it in the Quran. Where does it say he gave you the hadith to follow? Where did he say he gave you Sahih Bukhari to follow? Where did he say he gave you Sahih Muslim or Jami at-Tirmizi to follow? Where? Is it not your same scholars fabricating this gibberish in Islam? No wonder you are mushriks. And to top it all, the last part of the video, he quoted a verse. Let me share the screen and I show you the verse. And to show you this people you listen to, they will twist the book to make you consider it is from the book while it is not from the book. And they will lie to you and say it is from God, and it's not from God. So they lie about God and they know. So you are telling me Mufti Menk doesn't know? Quran chapter 33 verse 66 to 67. Yawma tukallabu wujuhuhum finnar. Then he says, Yakuluna ya laytana atana Allah wa atana Rasula. You see, the day we will turn their faces, or their faces will be turned in the fire, it will be turned around in the fire. They will say, Ya laytana, woe to us, if we had what? Obeyed God. Had we obeyed God and obeyed the messenger? He didn't say, had we followed God and followed the messenger. The word in Arabic, taba'a, it means follow. That is why Quran chapter 2 verse 208, he says, Adkhulu fi silmi kafatan. Then he says, Wala tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan. Wala tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan. Do not follow the footsteps of the devil. So the word follow, taba'a, doesn't mean ata'a. Ata'a means obey. Obey. So they will say, if we have obeyed God and obeyed the messenger, because Quran chapter 4 verse 80, Man yuti'i rasula faqad ata Allah. So a messenger's duty is to bring you a message. Quran chapter 5 verse 67. Ya ayyuha rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Wa in lam taf'alu, fama ballagta risalatahu. Wallahu yasimuka minan nas. Inna Allah la yahdi al-qawmal kafirin. Now, Quran chapter 5 verse 67 is clearly telling the messenger, oh, you the messenger, deliver what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you do not, then you have not delivered his messages. So when you are obeying a messenger, he has messages from God to give you, not the garbage hadith your scholars are claiming. And this puppet you see dressed nicely like a model and telling you, follow. We hope we have followed the God and followed the messenger just because of your garbage hadith. You are twisting the Arabic language out of context, and you call these people scholars. He dressed nicely to lie to you. Then verse 67. وَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّا أَطَعْنَا سَادَتَنَا وَكُبَرَاءَنَا فَأَضَلُّونَا سَبِيلًا. Why did this hypocrite not finish the verse and tell you verse 67 what it actually entails there? Because you foolishly refuse to obey God and the messenger, which is found in the Quran. The messages are in the Quran. Then you went on to obey this kind of people. Sadatana wa kubara'ana, your leaders and your elders like Mufti Menk and the Zakir Naiks and the others, Yasir, Kadi, Numan, Ali, so on and so forth. I'm calling their names. Yes, I can justify whatever I say. The videos are out there. We know the lies they tell the people. You heard what Mufti Menk said at the beginning when he was starting. Attention has been drawn. And the people say you have to follow the Quran alone. Out of their foolishness, did the Prophet follow the garbage hadith they are following today? The Sahih Bukhari, Prophet Muhammad, did he follow it? Sahih Muslim, did he follow it? Does he know them? Did he even prophesy about them? The answer is no. So your scholars will foolishly associate these garbage books to the book of God, and they claim this is the guidance. So Quran chapter 33 verse 67, that is the warning. They will come on a day of judgment and they'll say, our Lord, we obeyed our masters and our leaders, but they misled us from the way. What is the way? That is the way of God. Quran chapter 6 verse 153. God says, Wa anna haza sirati mustaqiman fattabi'uhu wa la tattabi'u subula fatafarraka bikum an sabili. He gave you one way to follow. You decided, go and follow Quran and Sunnah. And check on your list and see. Those saying we should follow Quran and Sunnah, they follow the Sunnah, the garbage books, more than the Quran. When the Quran says something, they put it aside. Hadith says it, that mashallah, mashallah, yes. Prophet marries his year-old girl from the Hadith, yes, mashallah. Quran says no, they say no, akhi. The Hadith explains the Quran. The Sunnah explains the Quran. You foolishly damn ass. Think God will give you a book without explaining it to you. after telling you وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ فَصَّلْنَاهُ تَفْصِيلًا, chapter 17 verse 12. Chapter 16 verse 89, وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبِيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He didn't tell the prophet لِتُبَيِّنَ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He didn't say you should explain everything or clarify everything. He says the book تِبِيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Your foolishness and your garbage books and your scholars, damn ass scholars, going around telling you this book doesn't explain everything. You need the hadith to tell you. So the hadith is now going to tell me the prophet's wife drank his urine. So that hadith explains the Quran, right? Hey, Allah Mushrik. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I just want you to understand when I talk with passion. Now, the reason why I do that is like, I give an example. Let's say there's somebody you know for all these years in your community, and you didn't know he's a rapist, and all of a sudden you find out he's a rapist. He's raping the young kids, 6 years old kid, 5 years old kids. Ladies and gentlemen, you tell me, can you ever give him the respect you've been giving in the past anymore? Can you talk to him with respect? Can you even use polite words against such a person? The answer is no. So from my position, when you see me talking with passion against such scholars, I'm not doing it out of ignorance. I can justify every single statement I say. I'm serious. I see them like the pedophiles and the rapists who go around raping kids. That's how I see them. So when I have to talk about them or against them, I don't have to talk with a soft tone. It doesn't work anymore because I see the manipulation they are doing to the masses, because the masses are asleep. The best I can do is to wake up the intelligent ones. So check on my profile. My bio says I only lecture intelligent people to the truth in religion. So I'm not here for fools. So if you think I'm talking and this guy is, oh, he's insulting. Yeah. You see? You see, you see what this guy says, eh? Shiny Star Ali Sule, you see what he said? Somebody you have been giving respect for all this while. So not only he's in the community raping 5 years old kids and 6 years old, you can't even give him respect anymore. You don't even allow him to explain himself. You will never even talk to him politely again. You can't. Or to say, let me use a soft tone as a tone. Oh, why is Brother Shaib harsh on the scholars? Why is is that so? Quran chapter 2 verse 159. Let me put the verse to make it easier for people to comprehend what I'm trying to say. Quran chapter 2 verse 159. I'm almost bringing the topic to an end, right? Because I have to go ahead later a bit. So Quran chapter 2 verse 159, and let me share the screen and in order to put my point across, right? Quran chapter 2 verse 159. God says, Innal lazina yakutumuna ma anzalna min al-bayyinati wal huda min ba'di ma bayyanahu lin-nas fil kitab. Ulaika yal'anumullah wa yal'anumullah inhu. You see, so God says, indeed, those who conceal. The word yaktumuna comes from the word katama. That is the root word, katama, to hide something, to conceal it. So God says, indeed, those who conceal what we have revealed of the what? Evidences and the what? The guidance, wal huda, min ba'di ma bayyanahu linnas fil kitab. After what we have what? Made it clear, or we have clarified it, or we have manifested it, or we have made it evident to the people in the book. You see what God does? The guidance and the evidences have been made clear by God in the Al-Kitab. So God says, those who conceal this guidance and the evidences, ulaika yal'anumuhullah. So those are the ones whom God has cursed. Wa yal'anumuhum. And then those who are cursing also cursed such fellow. And then when I'm cursing at the scholars, you think I'm here trying to just be rude? No. I see them like the way you will see a rapist in your community. For all this while you are giving respect, you don't know that he's a rapist. The same respect that gets lost, missing, that's the same thing I'm having for the scholars. It's missing. I don't see the connection, the respect there. Somebody who didn't respect the words of God, somebody who is against God, the enemy of God, you want me to talk with respect to him? Some people will say, oh, Quran chapter 20, verse 43 to 44, God told Moses to speak to Fir'aun with qawlan layyinan. Have you finished studying the Quran? No, you didn't, right? Go to Quran chapter 17. Start reading from 101 and read downwards to 110. And see when Fir'aun, he insulted Moses by telling Moses that he thinks that Moses is crazy, he's not okay, or he has problem. What did Moses tell him? Moses also retaliated by telling him, I think you'll be doomed. You are doomed. That's what he told Fir'aun. Right? Let me see if I found the verse here. Quran chapter 17. Then I put the verse, then people can get to know what this issue entails, right? So that is Quran chapter 17, verse 101. That is Quran chapter 17, verse 101. And we had suddenly given Moses 9 signs, tis'a ayati, right? As proofs, as evidences. So as the children of Israel, when he came to them, then Pharaoh said to him, oh Moses, indeed, I think you are bewitched. You are bewitched, meaning a spell has been cast on you. Then verse 102, Moses said, you, Pharaoh, certainly know none revealed these signs except the Lord of the heavens and the earth as insight. And oh, Pharaoh, indeed, I think you are doomed. Now, you see the exchange here. The qawlan layyin, God is asking Moses to go and speak, doesn't mean if there is the truth, you can't tell the person. If somebody is foolish, you can't tell him. If somebody is crazy, you can't tell him. If somebody is acting stupid, you can't tell him. You should understand what qawlan layyin. In my country, in Ghana, somebody wants to insult you, he can say, me pacho, we Jimmy why? They can now say, please, you are a fool. In Ghana, Ghanaians are watching me. Ask them, they'll tell you. In Ghana, somebody wants to even say a harsh statement against you, to insult you. Right? They can say, me pacho, we are blah. Please, you are an animal. They will beg you before insulting you. They want to say you are a fool, they can say, me pacho, with Jimmy I. Both the Fantis and the Santis, they know what I'm talking about. You understand? So if I use qawlan layyin, doesn't mean if you are a fool, I can't tell you are a fool. Moses, Quran chapter 7, verse 155 to 156, he called some of his people foolish people. Why? Because they took a calf and then they made it as an idol and they say that's their God. Is that not foolishness? So if when you are told you are a fool, you say that's not qawlan layyin. Do you know the meaning of qawlan layyin? To speak with a gentle tone. I can speak with a gentle tone but still be harsh against you. So understand logic here. So when Moses and Pharaoh exchange with each other, it doesn't mean Moses was disrespecting God. It is just the truth. The truth is bitter. Bitter truth is better than sugar-coated lies. Yes. Let me give you an example. What do you mean qawlan layyin? You mean, oh, so if you speak gentle doesn't mean he should use the truth, right? Or even if the truth is harsh, don't speak it, right? Let me give you an example. Next time when you are walking in the city and you find somebody's armpit smelling or somebody having bad odor in him, if you are a man or a woman, just be bold enough. Go closer to the person. Bring your voice down and tell the person, excuse me, your armpit is smelling. And see the dirty slaps he'll give you. That is a gentle speech, right? Qawlan layyin. Go and use it next to somebody's armpit smelling and see and tell him lightly. Gently. Don't just shout. Just go closer. Or just see a lady standing there who is unfortunately not pretty enough or beautiful enough, and just go next to her. Don't shout, don't raise your voice. Just do it silently. Just say, excuse me, my sister, you are very ugly. That's qawlan layyin, right? A gentle statement, right? A gentle speech, right? And see the dirty slaps you get. The qawlan layyin, God is telling Moses, has nothing to do with not speaking the truth. You tell the truth as it is. So if I see a video and Mufti Menk is acting foolish, what should I do, ladies and gentlemen? Help me out. I should tell him, right? That is a foolish thing to do. So Mufti Menk of top people, you know what Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul means. It doesn't mean follow. Unless if you are now studying Arabic. It doesn't mean follow. It means obey. There is a big difference between obey somebody and follow somebody. A big difference. Quran chapter 7 verse 3. God says, Tabi'u ma unzila ilaykum min rabbikum. Wala tattabi'u min duni awliya. Qalilan ma tazakkarun. He says, follow what has been revealed to you from your Lord and do not follow allies besides him. Rarely do you take heed. So we are asked to follow the book, the Quran, what God has revealed. Not to go and follow somebody. So what foolishness are these scholars preaching out there? Yes, Christiana Oluwa, is it Oluwa Bukola, is asking, what is your Twitter, TikTok handle? Search me with the name Bush2G9, just the same initials I'm using on here, Bush2G9. Search me on TikTok, you find me there. I usually put short videos, interesting ones, a catchy one, just to get people to reason, right? Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. You have to actually use your intellect when you are listening to scholars and examine what they are saying. Don't just go with the flow just because they think they are scholars, you think what they say is fine. It doesn't work that way. And always ask the scholars for a reference and the proofs to what they say. Ask them for proof. Hatu bur'anakum, hatu bur'anaka. Bring it, let's check. Take it, go and check for yourself. Remember, wala taqafu ma laysa laka bi ilm. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. If you don't have knowledge about it, don't pursue it. So pay attention to that. It's very, very, very important, right? Ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know my YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel where I put my lectures that you can benefit from. And usually I put it adequately so that if you're at home, you can find your time and watch and to be learned. You understand? I give the proofs out anytime I do my lectures. You have a YouTube account, you can subscribe to my channel and listen to the lectures there, right? It's free of charge, no monetization. You can watch throughout without any interruptions, right? Because I'm doing it as my jihad for God, not for anything else. Yes, and then time to time, that's my phone number down there. Usually when I'm on the program, you can ask me questions whilst I'm on. And then when I'm offline, you can send me WhatsApp messages, audio. Usually I don't pick calls when I'm not online. If you call, you will not get me. Unless if we schedule for an appointment where I can talk to you, then I'll call you, right? Because this number is specifically meant for what I do online and the lectures I do. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can send me a message, send me an audio message. When I find time, I'll get back to you. Then we can talk on any issue you want to discuss concerning Islam, right? Wilaya sana ba irin kai bakaji. You are too small for me. My phone number is there. If you are a man, call right now. This is my phone number down there. Wilaya, if you are a man, call right now and let me run from Facebook. I'm waiting. Oh, Shirmi. How can I be scared of a mushrik? Kana ni maluma kai waye sanka. These mushriks. Greetings, Emmanuel Agilo. Yeah, let me see. Did I put my network on or not? Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, now look at the question he's now asking me. He said, so are you a Malang? Now, oh, I thought you want to. My number is there. Call me right now and come on and talk to me. Wilaya, don't be scared. I don't bite. I don't have horns. My number is below the channel. Just call right now. Then we talk. No problem. I'll go and learn. I've never studied in my life, so I'll go and learn. Okay, Wilaya. My number is there. Just be a man, please. Just be a man, please. Just even for 2 minutes, I can wait. Call me right now. Let's just exchange something a bit. I want to see your potential. Wilaya, please. Don't just be texting like you're texting your girlfriend. Wilaya, please, just call. My number is there. I'm waiting for a call. My WhatsApp number, please. Just call right now. I give you 5 minutes. Let me play with you a bit. Wilaya, do us a favor. Come on, don't shame the mushriks. You are shaming your mushrik people. The mushriks are watching. Look, you put a sheikh on your profile picture and you can't step forward. Just call my number. WhatsApp call is free in Ghana, right? WhatsApp call. Just call me, please, if you are based in Ghana, please. Call me and tell us whether you are a Shia, a Sunni, what type of mushrik are you? I want to know, please, call. Please. Guys, look what he said. Let me share it. Look what he said. He says you will be insulting, or what are you saying? You will be insulting, and I will like to have debate with an open once because I have been seeing how I are insulting. Your English is even problematic. You want to say how you have been insulting, meaning I've been insulting who? Who did I insult? You see, this is the emotional mushriks I'm talking about. Like when somebody is a thief and I call him a thief, these mushriks classify that as an insult. If your scholar acted foolish and I call him foolish, it is not an insult, brother. Why are you so emotional? You guys should stop crying like girls. It is not an insult. Malamin ka yayi wawanci, aka ce mai wawan banza. Ba wawan ba zagin bane. Yayi wawanci, lokacin nan wawa ne. Understand this. Malamin ka yaje sata, aka kira shi barawo, ba zagi bane. It's not an insult. It is the truth, because at that time he stole. That is how it is. So Wilaya, if you claim I'm insulting people, maybe you don't know. I've done debates and dialogues before. Maybe you don't know me. I've done debates and dialogues, right? Why do you just because most of you are dumb and mushriks, you think the same mentality you have, that is the same mentality somebody has against you? No. You think I'm just here fighting? Like you come on my program and I'll just attack you and insult? Come on, I don't do that. Oh, Wilaya. No problem. Very Yafima, I see you are scared. Your English is very pathetic even. Go and learn and come back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I have to end the program. Sorry if I got so, a bit, passionate and, jovial, but it's just, look, I have proper people to talk to. Don't waste my time. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to attend to my family now. My time is up. It's late, and I appreciate the time and support. I will find a better time to bring up the scholars like the way I did today, and show you some of the loopholes and the things they usually do. And I apologize for getting carried away at the last hour, just because of these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'll end the program. And I tell you, when you are listening to the scholars, pay close attention. Look for answers. Look for references. Forget about the garbage eloquence they know, whether they're Arabic and whatever they So you can see one of the audience, Wilaya, I asked him to just call. My WhatsApp number is there. He's scared to call. Now you ask. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, before I go, you just ask. If babashuaib is here to deceive the people, or I'm here to manipulate the people, will I even put my phone number out there for somebody to call me? Why will I do that? If I'm here to manipulate people, to deceive the people, to lie to the people, why are your scholars scared to come to my platform? I don't get it. They say I will insult them. I will insult you how? How? What did you do to me? Or you are just scared? Kuna suru. Don't platform munana kumanta dunia na dubamu. The world is watching. Oh, Wilaya, you are at work, but you spend 15 minutes on my program typing. Your boss should fire you. You don't deserve to be working there. 15 minutes typing, giving reply in typing. And you can't call on my program just to ask few questions and exchange. You don't deserve to be a worker there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Subhana Rabbi izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamu ala al-mursalin. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Let me play one comedian's video. I'll be tackling that comedian next week, inshallah. So let me play the video before I go. Subhana Rabbi izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamu ala al-mursalin. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Peace be upon you all. Thank you all. Baba Sayyid Salis Naganku Salam. Zamani Badiu Naganka Salam Alaikum. Peace be upon you.
Allah says in the Quran, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. If you differ about anything, take it back to Allah and His Messenger. Ibn Abbas said, take it back to Allah and His Messenger means you take it back to the Quran and the Sunnah. The Quran and the Sunnah go hand in hand. You cannot have Islam without the Sunnah of the Messenger of Islam. It's as simple as that. You cannot have Islam without the Sunnah of the Messenger of Islam. Anybody who comes and says, I only want to follow the Quran, is contradicting himself, because the Quran tells you to follow the Sunnah. You cannot have the Quran except it comes with the Sunnah.